Hi guys, this is Tech Howdy. I welcome you to another video tutorial on creating a ASP.NET Core application with Angular 10. In the last video tutorial, we updated the version of Angular application that we had created by default using Visual Studio. In this video tutorial, I will show you how you can set up your Git repository with Azure DevOps Repo. And to do that, the first thing that you need to do is create an account with Azure Repos. If you don't have an account, if you already have an account, all you need to do is create a repository to store this application code. So if you don't have an account, use the following link, which I will be providing in the video description, or you could just Google search Azure Repos and you will be redirected to this page where you can select to start a free account, or if you have a GitHub account, you can start a free account with your GitHub account credentials. So I already have an account and all my projects are listed within this Azure Repo account. So after you have created an account, you will also have a welcome screen like this, which will have an option to create a new project. All we are going to do is create a new project and give this project a name. And a description. I leave this project as public because I need to share this code with all the subscribers for this channel. So if you want to, you can leave it public or you can change it to private if it's only going to be accessed by you. So I'm going to create this repository now. So once the repository is created, you will be redirected to this page which contains all the repo information. Go to the repos section, click on it, and then you'll have a screen like this, which will give you options to either clone the repository or to push an existing repository to this repo. So I'm going to use the following option, which is to push an existing repository using the command line. And these are the commands that we need to run in the command line in order to push our existing repository. So the first thing that we want to do is go back to Visual Studio, and then in our project, right click on it and open the project in terminal. When we are in the terminal window, just type in ls to list the directories, and here you can see we are inside the folder which contains the csproj file. What I need to do here is do change directory and step one step back and go one step back, and by doing this I can see the entire folder or the directory which contains all my project files. So let me clear this. Now the next thing that I want to do is initialize this folder with git. So to do that, I will type the command git init. And now I have successfully initialized the git repository. Now the next thing that I want to do is add the files and folders. So I'm going to do git add the name of the folder and then the asterisk or star sign symbol. So that's how you're going to add this. So anything that's any files and folders inside this particular directory will be pushed to the GitHub Git repo, the DevOps Git repo. So now I need to hit enter, and now it's going to tell you that the following files are ignored while we are pushing any files and folders to Azure Repos. So now let's do git status. And by doing git status, we can check which files and folders are being lined up to be pushed into the GitHub repo. So I can see the client app folder and all the files inside the client app, and all my project related files also are being now tracked, and for now they are being tracked to be pushed into the repo. So now let's add a commit message. So to git commit -m, which is a flag for message, and the message would be initial commit. You can provide any message of your choice. It doesn't have to be initial commit. Since it's my first commit, I'm going to name this message as initial commit. I'm going to hit enter. Now, as you see, all the green highlighted files are turned black, which means that the files are now ready to be pushed. Files and folders are ready to be pushed into the GitHub repo. But we as of now don't know where is the remote repository. So we need to tell the terminal to push these files and folders into the Git remote repository that I just created using Azure Repos. So I'll go back to my browser and copy the following command, which is git remote add origin and the URL to my remote repository. So I'll go back here. Let me clear this. And now I will paste this command here and hit enter. So the remote repository is set up. The next thing that we want to do is run this second command, which is git push -u origin -all, which will push this code to our branch in the remote repository. So if I go and paste this command and hit enter, okay, so now I have got a error which says authentication failed. And the reason I got this is because I'm trying to push code into a Azure repo which is protected by my password. So if there was no password, anybody could push these files and folders into this repository. So let's provide a password, but the password that you're going to provide, it's not going to be the password which you will be using to log into your repo account. You need to create a token so that files and folders can be pushed into your Azure repo repository or directories. To do that, go to user settings, go to personal access tokens. Here we will create a token. Basically, this token is your password. Let's give this token a name, cms_core_ng. I will leave this token to be used for 30 days, so its validity remains only 30 days, but you can extend it to 60 days, 90 days, or you can define a custom time frame for how long you want this token to be valid. So I leave it for 30 days and then they'll renew it based on my requirement, or I can create a new token. I will give this token full access so it can write or read data from the repository. So then the next thing I want to do is hit this create button. Now you see there is a token that's being created. It's a very long token. So all you need to do is hit the copy to clipboard icon. So the token is copied. Now you guys need to remember that this token, it will not be saved in your Azure repo. And there is a warning message here which states that you need to save this token in a safe place so that you can use it later if in case you need access to this token. So make sure you copy this token to a file and before you close this window. So I've copied this token onto a file. I'm going to close this window. Now I'll no longer have access to that token. I can see that the access token that I created has full access and it's active. So now what I need to do is go back to my terminal and then run the previous command again, which is git push -u origin all. And now it's going to ask me for the password. So let's provide a password. So the password is basically the token that I just copied. I have pasted it onto the terminal. And please note that this password is not visible. So once you paste it, just hit enter. And now once you hit enter, the authentication is passed and you will see all the files and folders being transferred to your Azure repo repository. So now if I go back to the repository, go back, I should see my project folder over here because it's already pushed into my repo. If I open it, I'll have my client app, my controllers, all the project files or the projects related to this solution inside this repository. So This should be it for this video tutorial. And in this video tutorial, we learn how we can create a Azure repo, how we can push all our files and maintain source code and versioning in our application. So in the next video tutorial, let's create the models to connect to our database and then create our database. So that should be it for this video tutorial. Please like and subscribe my channel Tech Howdy. Thank you.